Hello, and welcome to this week's show. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm your host, Trey Winowitz, and you're watching Right on the Money. Our goal for the show is to always equip you, the viewer, with accurate financial information so that you can make educated decisions for both you and your family. We've got a great show lined up for you today, so thanks for watching. We're going to be tackling some difficult financial questions, and we want to take some things that could be somewhat complicated and make them simple and easy to understand. So come on in and have some fun with us.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, Trey Winowitz was forced to move himself and his family over 600 miles north and begin his financial planning practice again, from scratch. Since then, Winowitz Financial has become a national success story, establishing itself as a trusted source for financial advice in and around East Tennessee. In return, Trey gives back to the community by sponsoring monthly educational workshops and annual charity events. He also hosts a weekly radio show informing and entertaining those in need of financial advice. So, if you'd like to understand more about today's challenging financial environment, if you'd like to overcome your current financial situation, and want to learn from someone with a track record of overcoming, stay tuned for some trusted financial advice that's right on the money.
Now let's get to our main topic, common mistakes that investors make. Now, in my past 12 years working as a financial advisor, I've seen many people who've made lots of different investing mistakes. So on today's show, I'd like to work through some common mistakes that investors make and how you can avoid them. Of the mistakes made by investors, many of them are repeat offenses. In fact, investors have been making these same mistakes since the dawn of modern markets, and it will likely be that they'll repeat them for years to come. You can significantly boost your chances of investment success by becoming aware of these typical errors and taking steps to avoid them. So on today's show, here's what we'll cover: the top 5 mistakes that investors make, how to avoid these mistakes. Number 1 is not having a plan. As the old saying goes, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Where are you going?
Well, I don't know.
That's a shocker.
What?
Try over there. When it comes to your financial situation, and especially your retirement savings, this is even more true. So you really need to have a plan. Your personal financial plan should address each of the following. First are your goals and objectives. Find out what you're trying to accomplish. Accumulating money for a child's education or a secure nest egg for retirement at age 60 are appropriate goals. Beating the market is not. Next, examine the risks. What risks are relevant to you or your portfolio? If you're 30 years old saving for retirement, volatility may not be as scary to you. On the other hand, inflation, which erodes any long-term portfolio, is a significant risk. And of course, if you're nearing retirement, volatility is a huge risk. I'd love to talk with you about one or more secure options you could think about. And then, appropriate benchmarks. How will you measure the success of your investing in portfolios? Finally, there's asset allocation. What percentage of your total portfolio should you put in U.S. equities, stocks, bonds, high-yield bonds, etc.? Your asset allocation should accomplish your goals while addressing relevant risks. All right, now we've got to take a quick break. I hope you can stay with us. This is going to be a great show. Stay tuned for more trusted advice that's right on the money. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Trey Winowitz and you're watching Right on the Money. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about some common investor mistakes and how you can avoid them. Before the break, I told you that you really need to have a written personal investment plan and a few guidelines. These guidelines will help you adhere to a sound long-term philosophy, even when the current market conditions are unsettling. Having a good plan and sticking to it is not nearly as exciting or as much fun as trying to time the markets, but it will likely be more profitable in the long term. The second most common mistake I see is too much risk on your principal. Many investors select asset classes, strategies, managers, and even funds based on recent strong performance. The feeling that I'm missing out on great returns has probably led to more bad investment decisions than any other single factor. If a particular asset class, strategy, or fund has done extremely well for 3 or 4 years, we know one thing with certainty: we should have invested in that 3 or 4 years ago. Now, however, the particular cycle that led into this great performance may be nearing its end. The smart money is moving out and the dumb money is pouring in. Stick with your investment plan and rebalance, which is the polar opposite of chasing performance. If you're just entering retirement and your life expectancy is likely to be 15 to 20 years, and you're also hoping to leave some assets to your heirs, you really need to work with someone who helps you understand all the risks involved. Give me a call and learn about some guaranteed ways to leave your heirs with more money in the future. You really need to understand also the difference between diversifying and eliminating the risk. Most investors who come in to see us for a second opinion don't realize that some of their perceived conservative funds still have some significant risk. Give us a call today and we'll send you a DVD of our episode 7 called Red Money and Green Money. It explains all the different investments and their risks in great detail. The third mistake I see is overpaying in fees. One of the biggest impacts that our clients see take place when we save them money on investment fees and their accounts become much more efficient. I can't tell you how many people come in and not only want me to review their accounts for performance, but more importantly, for the fees. People often don't know what they're paying in fees, and here are some examples of some of the fees that you might be paying. Management fees, custodial fees, 12B1 fees, trading fees, transaction fees, rider fees, and the list goes on. Fees can have a tremendous impact on your bottom line. What I like to do in my initial meetings is go through and help them understand the fees that they're being charged in their accounts and what it's costing them to own those accounts. That way we can weigh the performance against the earnings and see if they feel like they're getting their money's worth. Now we've got to take a quick break. I hope you can stay with us after the break. It's going to be a great show, so stay tuned for more financial advice that's right on the money.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433. Executive Lending Group is a local independently owned mortgage company committed to providing you with high-quality financial services, as well as the lowest rates available in today's market. Chris Holgroff is a mortgage professional who will work with you one-on-one to ensure your mortgage is tailored to meet your specific financial needs. His 12 years of experience in the industry will help you find the right loan program at the lowest rate.
Call me anytime at 865-257-7777. We look forward to working with you.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Trey Winowitz, and you're watching Right on the Money. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about some common mistakes that investors make and how you can avoid them. The next item on our list is number 4, using outdated strategies. There are a few philosophies that we've all been conditioned to believe about investing that have been around for quite a while. The problem is they just aren't working as well today as they once did. Let's talk about these investment strategies that we've heard from Wall Street over the last few decades and think about where they might have originated. Number 1, the market always outperforms everything. Number 2, if you're not in the market, you're missing out on the gains. 3, don't worry about the risk, everyone loses money sometimes. And number 4, diversification equals safety. Now, these philosophies were fine during the booming 80s and 90s, and they all worked very well in a healthy, thriving economy. But unfortunately, in the year 2000, everything changed. On the heels of the biggest boom in market history, the cycle of the market turned, and we found ourselves yet again in a flat market cycle. Now, have you been using those same rules of thumb? The ones from the 80s and 90s, these last 15 years? How are they really working for you? In today's economy, what do you need to do that will allow you to make new money without forcing you to keep recovering old money you used to have? You see, success today is not about picking the highest possible return investment. It's about producing consistent, reasonable returns and not losing your shirt again the next time the market corrects. Call us if you feel like your financial strategy might need an upgrade. Number 5 is overconfidence in the ability of managers and experts. Numerous studies, including one from 1995 entitled Returns from Investing in Equity Mutual Funds, tell us that most managers will underperform their benchmarks. We also know that there's no consistent way to select in advance those managers that will outperform. So why are so many investors confident of their abilities to time the market and select outperforming managers? I think it's better to try and find managers with a proven track record of avoiding losses, not just making high returns. Fidelity guru Peter Lynch once observed, "There are no market timers in the Forbes 400. That means investors misplaced overconfidence in their ability to market time and select outperforming managers. That's a big investment mistake. Let us help you avoid it." Now, investors who recognize and avoid these common mistakes give themselves a great advantage in meeting their investment goals. Most of the solutions we've talked about today are not really exciting, and they don't make a cocktail conversation at a party. However, they're very profitable, and isn't that why we all invest? So here's our bottom line for today's episode. Remember that in today's market, you want to seek out safety first. Set a reasonable return expectation, not pie in the sky. And finally, have a plan that's simple and easy to understand. Simplify your plan and simplify your life. Well, that's all the time we have for our Money Talk segment. Coming up after the break, we'll learn how people just like you benefited from a no-cost second opinion. Don't miss our Money Matters segment. We'll see you after the break.
Are you looking to recruit and retain great employees? Would you like to reduce your retirement plan cost? Now you can offer employees the opportunity to keep their retirement funds protected and growing. Separate yourself from your competition. Make a difference in the retirement of your employees with little to no additional cost to you and no change to your TPA, payroll, or existing 401k company. Call Winowitz Financial today to find out more about this exciting new product.
I don't know about you, but what's been going on in the U.S. economy, and especially Europe, scares me. There are too many things that we can't control affecting our investments. We have to do our best to educate ourselves about the best options out there to protect our nest egg. The best way to do that is to call Winowitz Financial and reserve a seat at their next free educational workshop. There's usually a waiting list for these, so call today to reserve your seat. 691-2433. That's 691-2433.
Now that we're back, I'd like to tell you about some real-life folks that you can relate to. because it never hurts to have an extra pair of objective eyes take a look at your situation and see what can be improved. But sometimes not getting a second opinion can be very costly to your family. Even if the strategies you're using can't be improved on, people say it's a huge comfort when I tell them that what they're doing is working well for them and they should continue with that plan. However, in some cases they discover that products or strategies that they thought worked a certain way actually don't work that way. So what I want to do is take a second to introduce you to a few people who came in my office recently for that no obligation second opinion, just to be sure. And these folks are glad that they did. If you'd like to be a part of this Money Matters segment, please give us a call at the office and schedule a complimentary review. Now let's take a look at this week's case. Jana, can you bring me my notes?
Sure.
Thanks. This week's case study. The husband was a retired physician, 77 years old. The wife was 72 and she had been retired from the banking system. She was a banking clerk. They came in for an annuity review. They had watched our show on annuities and they weren't really sure what type of annuity they had, whether or not they were paying fees, and was it really accomplishing the goals that they wanted. Their main concerns, they had taken their money out of the stock market according to the bank, and they had bought an annuity back in 2008 when the market went down. But they still hadn't really made a whole lot of money back, so they were wondering if their money was really in a safer place. The husband also had a life insurance policy he wanted us to look at. They weren't really sure if they needed to drop the insurance, if they needed to keep it, or what their options might be. Lastly, they had plenty of income from their current pensions, Social Security, and other sources, and they were really looking for a distribution or a preservation plan for their only daughter. Steps to success. What we did is we analyzed their current insurance policy. We were able to then call the insurance company on the annuity and ask them a bunch of different questions. We actually took them through our annuity fee sheet to make sure that we didn't miss any of the fees or anything like that when we were analyzing the contract. Also, then we researched other no-fee alternatives because they weren't really planning to use the money. They didn't really want to pay fees for benefits that they weren't going to use. Results. We were able to find a new insurance policy for the husband. And in so, we eliminated or reduced some of the premiums that he was paying even at the age of 77. Then we discovered through using the annuity fee sheet they were paying over 3.5% in annual fees on their annuities. So we were able to upgrade their annuity to an account that paid no fees, and they were able to protect the principal like they wanted to do. Also, by helping them choose a more appropriate annuity, it put them in the position that they wanted to be in, which was to be able to easily pass more money to their heir, their only daughter, in a more efficient way whenever they did pass. Give us a call today for a complimentary review, and if your scenario gets picked for the show, you're going to receive a Right on the Money prize pack. But most of all, we want to help you. Coming up next, another opportunity for you to be a part of the show. Post it on our Facebook, tweet us, or email us your financial questions, and stick around for the viewer mail section.
For the last few years, it's been harder to make a consistent return on your money. Are you paying too many fees? Could you get cheaper life insurance rates? Could you pay less taxes? Join the hundreds of others that have dramatically saved money using a free fee analysis. That means you've got to make sure your money is working efficiently for you. Call Winowitz Financial today, 691-2433. That's 691-2433, and start saving money today.
Welcome back to Right on the Money. I'm your host, Trey Winowitz, and it's time for you, the viewer, to be an integral part of this show, Viewer Mail. This is the part of the show where you send us your questions about anything financial. In order to get your questions to me, you can post them on our Facebook page, tweet your question to me at TreyWTV, or email them to me at advice@TreyWTV. If your question happens to get answered for the show, you'll receive a Right on the Money prize pack just for your willingness to help out our other viewers. This package has a retail value of over $50, so please don't stop sending us those questions. Our first viewer mail question today is, I just left my employer and have some money in retirement. What should I do with it? Well, typically you have an option to roll over that money into a retirement plan with a new employer if they offer one. or into a self-directed IRA. Now, self-directed IRAs tend to give you more flexibility and options for investments. You also can sit down with me or another professional one-on-one and design an investment plan specifically centered around your needs and goals. Generally, I don't see many people roll money into the new employer plan. We do IRA rollovers for clients every day, and we have a lot of really secure IRA accounts to choose from with little or even no fees. Give me a call at the office and I'll sit down for a no obligation visit and go through all the different options for you. I look forward to helping you. And our next question is, when should I begin collecting Social Security benefits? Well, full retirement ages are based on the year of your birth. Workers can begin receiving benefits as soon as 62, but the benefits will be greater if you wait until full retirement age, currently 66 or later. Surviving spouses and children can also sometimes collect benefits a little bit earlier. If the retiree can delay collecting Social Security, this is a huge financial benefit for the retiree as well as the spouse. We usually try to design a plan that will help you maximize these benefits. So if you're watching the show and you're 5 years or less from being eligible to receive or collect your Social Security benefits, give me a call at the office and we'll schedule a Social Security planning meeting. We'll lay out all of your options and come up with a customized plan just for you. The last question we have time for today is this: should I buy an annuity, and if so, what type? Well, we actually have an entire show devoted to that exact question. The short answer is you may not even need an annuity. There are many different types available for many different types of investors, and I would tend to look for an account with a shorter term or surrender charge and no fees. You want one that'll pay you a reasonable return on your money as well. Now, let me also say there's some features that you definitely do not want on your annuity. Now, in my opinion, one of those is a MVA or market value adjustment. Now, I don't have time to discuss it today, but I would say that it's one of the things that you want to avoid on your annuity. If you call my office, we can meet and talk about how this works and why I don't think it's a good thing. We also have a complete list of companies who sell products with these benefits on there. If you own an annuity and didn't get it from us, please give me a call and schedule an annuity review so we can make sure you have one of the good ones. When you call, we'll also send you a DVD copy of our annuity show so you can watch it before you come in for our meeting. Thanks for that question. Stick around after this short break for Right on the Street. See what some local people just like you think about the stock market and other financial topics. You may actually see someone that you know.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
And we're back. This is Right on the Money, and I'm Trey Winowitz. See what some local people just like you think about the stock market and other financial topics. You may actually see someone that you know. Tell me what you do for a living.
I'm a realtor in Knoxville.
Okay. And real estate prices in general, are they low or are they high?
In general, probably since 2007, they've been lower than normal, but Knoxville really hasn't been hit like some of the other metropolitan cities, so we're doing okay.
Okay. How much lower than their existing rate should someone's mortgage, or should the interest rates be if someone should refinance?
Oh gosh, I think it's like 2%, is that?
Okay, yeah, it's a common rule of thumb.
Yeah.
When do you think a good time to refinance a property or a house would be? What are some different reasons that people should refinance their home?
To lower their monthly payment. I don't know why else you do it.
Yeah, maybe to save some interest over the life of the loan.
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
And would you say real estate's a good investment for someone to make?
Definitely.
Okay.
I still think real estate's a good investment, yes.
Refinancing your house, is it really expensive? In your opinion, you think it's really expensive to refinance your house?
Yeah.
Okay, it can be for sure.
There's investments in rental properties right now.
Right.
There's still people flipping houses, buying them low, fixing them up. So there's still all around a lot of opportunities.
You think that'd be a good thing, maybe?
That'd be a good thing.
We're back. This is Right on the Money, and I'm Trey Winowitz. We're just getting ready to wrap up the show, but before we go, I'd like to tell you about an old Louisiana tradition called lagniappe. Lagniappe means to give someone a little something extra, and the way that we want to do that here at Right on the Money is to brighten your day at the end of our show. So there were 3 fathers in a hospital waiting room waiting for their babies to be born. The first nurse comes out and says to the first father, "Congratulations, you're the father of twins." "Great," he says, "I'm actually a manager for the Minnesota Twins." The second nurse comes out and tells the second father, "Congratulations, sir, you're the father of triplets." He says, "Man, that's really cool. I work for 3M." All of a sudden, the third father opens the window and jumps out. When the nurse comes out and says, "Where's the other father?" Another father looks over at her and says, "Man, he jumped out the window." Nurse asks, "Why?" "Because he works for 7-Up." And that, my friends, is a little lagniappe just for you. I want to personally thank you for watching our show today. I hope you found our show helpful as well as a little bit entertaining. If there's anything at all I can help you with financially, please don't hesitate to call our office. And remember, any plan that we come up with will always have 3 main goals for your money. Safety first, or protection of your principal, is always number 1. Making a reasonable return on your money in what some would consider an unreasonable market. And number 3, keeping your plans simple and easy to understand. If that sounds like something you want, I know I can help you. Also, please keep the financial questions coming. We'll do our best to get them answered on the show. I'll see you next week at 3 o'clock for more trusted advice that's right on the money.